I don't know if it's a proper question for tonight, but it's a question that's troubling me for a long time. And it came up in different situations here. And it's about anger. On the one side, relating to anger if somebody's angry on me. For example, when you were talking about arrogance and you were looking at me, I don't think you were angry on me, but there was some, let's say, hardness in the voice that made me, I'm gonna have to answer now, I can't even think. And on the other hand, when I'm angry on somebody, I mostly don't dare to even put it in nice words. Somehow I know that it's a problem and I don't know what to do. And
so I hear you, but what's the real question behind it? Or rather, what's the dilemma here? What's the question? Is it about anger, or is it about inability to express it when you feel it? Is it about witnessing anger in others and not knowing? I don't want to speak just to general matters. I want to.
Yeah. It's somehow my no isn't heard, so people are stepping into my territory, taking things and leaving.
Okay, try. Keep developing it. Just.
And it's also expressing what I want. It's also, when we had this session here this afternoon, when I was resting, I felt like I found the word no. Somehow energetically, that I can really say no. And I'm actually very unclear in that.
No, you are clear, and just maybe it's kind of feels like I'm trying to now, in turn, to pull it out of you. The questions and what you're coming up with, it's sort of begins to be. It has this, like. I'm not a shrink, that I'm not kind of like. I cannot be a psychologist, like you have problems with defining the boundaries. Well, tough titty, that's how it is, right? So it depends, It depends again, like if there's no jalapeno in the food, there's like much more compassion to the world. And, so, and on the other day it's not, so you can't rely on that, you see? So there has to be really inquiry coming from you. What is it that it's truly you find difficult? Or what is it truly that really there? Even beneath that, what seems like you said right at the start that I have this dilemma or question, I don't remember exactly, for a long time. Problem, yes, you said. For a long time.
It feels like it's blocking my way.
Yeah.
That it's turning, or I'm turning down my energy. It's like I'm stopping while going.
Okay. And?
I think it takes a lot of possibilities for me. Chances if I don't do it, it's just half a life.
And
Feels shit sometimes.
it's like you're not arrogant enough, right? Like feels like you cannot really draw the line. You cannot draw the boundaries of your space. You feel invaded, right? Well, as I said, so what? I'm not a psychologist. I have no recipes for this. None. Are you happy? Does this rob you of happiness? Some people do these things and they even like to be walked over because that brings them happiness.
No.
No. Okay, so now we're coming closer. So that does not make you happy. Okay. So what makes you happy?
Being respected.
Okay. Being respected makes you happy. Think about it.
No, but it doesn't distract me from happiness.
What else makes you happy?
Dancing, beautiful woman, chanting, feeling my third eye, laughing with that woman.
See, there's
feeling alive.
Okay. So there are a lot of things that make you happy. But something makes you unhappy. Right? Not being able to say no makes you unhappy. No, I don't want to put words into your mouth. I'm just asking, is that...
Yeah, I think it makes me unhappy because I get grumpy. It's then some grumpiness, the anger is spinning here around, and I'm thinking, I should, but I shouldn't, and
This is, you see, again, it's like, it's so tempting to kind of like begin introducing these perspectives. What is your happiness based on? If it is based on something, then that happiness is skin deep. It's not stable. It's not real, we could even say. We feel good and bad all the time, just like the weather. And sometimes someone can make us feel worse, and sometimes someone can make us feel better. What all that got to do with the reality of the situation? That's the question. If you are happy, and you know it, clap your hands. Oh dear. So, so good. See, you see? It's like that. It's very important, very important to know the distinction, you see? What gives you temporary joys. No, it's good to know sometimes. Oh, this is good, that will cheer me up. Oh, I know this is going to really depress me, you know. And if you have a choice to avoid it, why not? But certain things are unavoidable. And life is exactly made of that, you know. Not all dancing with the pretty woman, what you like, right? Sometimes you're dancing with the pretty woman and, you know, that part is nice, other parts maybe less nice. And so the whole thing is, you know, it's full of all these contrasts. But happiness is something fundamental here. We're not talking about fleeting joy. Happiness is a state where you ought to be rooted. Then nobody can walk over you. And boundaries will draw themselves because you already live beyond these boundaries. Temporarily, all get offended. What you think great sages don't get offended. They get pissed off just as much as anybody else. But it doesn't last long. And one can laugh at the face of it there and then. But if the system is stressed, that offense can last for days. In some cases, for weeks. In worst case scenarios, it's just there. We literally carry this as a wound. So this where the inquiry comes from. Not, what do I, you know, anger. Yeah, anger is an important topic. If you want to talk about anger, we can talk about anger. But then you started with anger. I thought, oh, that's going to get interesting. Then you brought me into the picture, all this, like, right, making you feel, ooh, like, I thought, okay, let's see. And we're going into, you know, you see the difference here. You need to know that difference. Happiness doesn't come for a reason. Whatever gives us joy is a fleeting reward, a temporal relief. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever we experience at the surface level of affairs as some kind of enjoyment is just a temporal replacement. I call it a reward. But whatever. It's always nice to wear a new shirt. Brand new, if you like it. There's something about it, isn't it? Even nice to wear a pair of nice new socks. Right? Just something, just, I don't know, something fresh about it. Is our happiness depend on that? See? These are just trivial examples. It's nice to go into a nice cream color, right? With red leather Aston Martin convertible. It's a nice feeling. nice feeling to drive a nice car. And the woman you danced with, sitting next to you, in trepidation of anticipation, in hopes that you will not fail. And the impression that is being felt in the car is going to translate into something. All these things are nice. All of these things are nice. Anything that we enjoy, a fresh strawberry cake from the fridge, is nice if you're into it, right? A well-made tiramisu, it's a die for if it's a real tiramisu and really well-made. Not tiramisu because it's called in the menu tiramisu. Has nothing to do with tiramisu. A real tiramisu is a real tiramisu. Am I speaking blasphemy here? Tiramisu. Thanks, Barbara. We're moving on. We moved. But all these are to be enjoyed. But where the happiness, if we anchor our happiness on all these things, as we inevitably do at some point, because at some point there'll be no tiramisu, there'll be no Aston Martin, there'll be no martini, and we will not feel as James Bond, you know? We'll feel pretty shitty, we'll feel anywhere close to being, you know? What's then? That's where we need to know where we're rooted. So therefore, all this, what you speak about, boils down and comes back to the real deal. And then all this will be secondary. This propping, adjustment, psychological adjustment takes place from a place of experiencing and knowing yourself for what you are and who you are. Then no one can walk over you, nor will you be willing to walk over anyone else. But going into this, how you've been treated, this, that, why it happened, why is it hard to say no, you know? Are you suffering from the nice guy syndrome? No, I'm not asking you, I'm just saying. Like, don't even worry about it. But many of us do sometimes. Sometimes nasty people, in essence, in general, think that they are actually having a hard deal to walk through life. But it's all at that level, you see? At the level of this, we call superficial psychology. So therefore, I want to direct your attention to how do you feel when nobody's watching? How do you feel when you are left alone? When you're about to go to sleep, when you fall asleep? When you're left alone, no pretty woman lying next to you? When you wake up in the morning? How do you feel by yourself? Do you feel happy? This is the most important thing. We need to be happy for no reason, because that's our job. This is our, in a way, reason why we're here. To be happy for no reason. All other reasons are replacements, rewards. You got your reward or you didn't get your reward, makes no difference. In the moment when you get it, lovely. But it does not leave trace if it's not there to replace. So therefore, Just tend to that and nothing else. And then you will see how all this, what maybe felt like a problem, long-term problem, will no longer present itself as much. It may still be there, but it wouldn't really matter that much. See? Some people are more gentle by their predisposition, softer in their personality. Others put up a show. Others may be really tough because life made them tough. There's all this whole now thing about different kinds of male, I lost count. Alpha male, omega male, mega male, like there's so many kind of male. And guess what? It just tells you, find out what male you are. You know? I forgot which one is the most rare. Forgot. But it's not an alpha apparently anymore. Maybe delta. So all these kind of like things, keep popping up into our, into our attention to check how we're doing against Sean Connery in his prime. You have to find comfort in your own skin, And in that skin, you need to be happy. Because nothing prevents you to be happy. Nothing, really. As you are, what you are, for what you are. Not because you're a nice man, you probably are. I don't know. I'm not reading you, It doesn't matter, you see what I mean? Oh, you are a nice man. Don't worry about it. Forgive them for... No, all this is inconsequential, waste of time. Whatever you consider to be something you want to work on, right? First, you need to accept yourself as you are fully. It's a rule of a thumb. You have to fully first embrace yourself for who you are. But you cannot do that unless you truly understand what it truly means to accept yourself. Because you can never accept yourself. You can never accept yourself as long as you think of yourself as someone. It's an oxymoron. The most confident person out there, the most confident people out there, are just putting up a nice face, full of idiosyncrasies, fears and insecurities. You see? I don't know what they will be called, alpha, beta, gamma, male, female. Acceptance only comes from deep realization that all there is this. And in that acceptance, you can see for the very first time qualities that begin to shine forth that you have not even considered possible. And if you are just happen to be, right, in the body of a man, then that what becomes that recognition. This is a true coming into terms with your masculinity.
Can you explain this a bit more?
Up until there is this thinking of yourself as someone, then this acceptance cannot take place. It will always be full of something which will undermine your sense of confidence. Always something will come and undermine that. But the essence of who you are, is not even dependent upon the form. And that is a true sign of masculinity. You see? It's a spirit. Spirit. When the spirit shines forth, then one always reckons with that. Nobody can walk over that person. No one will dare. And it's not because you are proud or pride or worked on yourself. In fact, it comes from a very different place altogether. So, therefore, it's not so much about what to do, how to solve or resolve this dilemma of how you feel, this anger is directed at you, or you don't know how to express yourself because you feel this and that. You tend to your happiness for no reason and where it comes from. And that, what is the essence of yourself that shines forth in the masculine form, need to be recognized for what it is. Then all these insecurities, they will be dismantled. Like that.